Today, I'm sharing a complete SMC top-down analysis of the EURUSD. We're going to go from the monthly to the weekly, daily, 1 hour, 15-minute time frame so that it makes complete sense by the time you finish watching this video. We're going to talk key levels in the market, imbalances, market structure, break of structure, change of character. We're also going to look at the DXY too so that you have a complete picture of the major currency pairs. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Justin Bennett, Forex trader since 2007, full-time since 2011. And as always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So EURUSD monthly time frame. Now, before you skip ahead or leave this video and you think I'm on the 15-minute time frame or the 1 hour, the monthly time frame does not matter for me. Okay, I'm going to show you why it does. Okay, this absolutely matters, so stick around. So on the monthly time frame, obviously a downtrend in place here since 2007, since that great financial crisis. We also know that we have a BOS back here. Okay, so really nice price action back here from the euro on the monthly time frame. BOS down here below the low. The moment that we had this becomes our external high. Now, this matters here for the euro over the past few months because what you will notice is that from this high right up here, down here to the low, okay, we have the market into OTE or optimal trade entry. So what that means is if I put the settings up here, you can copy these settings, and this is the tool that I use to identify premium and discount in the market. So basically discount is below the 50%, premium is above the 50%, and OTE, optimal trade entry, is the area between the 62% and 79% retracement. So this area up here, this dark green area, is where within a trend, markets tend to reverse. Now, just because they tend to reverse from there doesn't mean that it will, because we still have to have that confirmation. But knowing that the market is up here and also knowing that it did mitigate a significant fair value gap back here recently is a reason to pay attention, even if you are on the lower time frames. So the beautiful thing about markets, guys, and really SMC, is that markets are fractal, meaning that you will find similar patterns across time frames. So this pattern right here on the monthly, I could take away the time frame and you wouldn't know if this is a monthly or a 1 minute time frame. And so what you can do is you can start stacking time frames in your favor so that you create confluence with time frames alone. Okay, and that's exactly what I did in the stack system, is we create confluence via multiple factors to allow for really high probability trades. So if you want to gain free access to that course, guys, it is 100% free. It'll be here on this screen here. This is how I trade full time. It's exactly how I trade full time. I hold nothing back. Check out the link here on the screen for a 100% free SMC course. If you don't see it here, check out the link in the description. All right, so let's go down to the weekly time frame. So we know in the monthly, the market is still bearish. Now, we also know that the EURUSD is in OTE right now, okay? On the surface, that doesn't tell us that it is bearish. However, it is cause for concern. Now, off of this area, you can see imbalance back here that we are mitigating recently. And we talked about this at length in Discord, this area up here, where we could get a reversal from the euro. And so far, that has been the case. So again, the beautiful thing about being in Discord, guys, is that you do get those real-time market updates. And I am in there active every day, Monday through Friday, helping out members, posting charts, videos, and also my trades live. So here on the weekly too, what you can see is that this distribution channel, right? We've got the lows down here, and we've got the highs up here. So this is the symmetry in the market that I often talk about, where if you imagine a midpoint through here, okay, or a mean, the market essentially does this. You get the distribution down here to the sell side, you get the move up here to the buy side, same thing up here. And every single time the market reverts to the mean. Okay, now it doesn't mean that it will happen again, of course, but in most cases, okay, when the market's trading up here in this area, this is cause for concern. And this matters because if you're on a 15-minute time frame and you're looking at this area up here, you know that it just mitigated a significant imbalance from way back here in 2021. You also know that it is trading here at the top of this channel. So do you want to be looking for buys up here, even if you're on a 15-minute time frame? And the answer is probably not. Okay, just because this is an incredibly significant area. And if we go one step further here down to the daily time frame, what you're going to notice is that we also have a distribution channel here. So again, markets do this over and over again. You see the mean through here, the market distributes to either side of this. So again, knowing that the market is up here in this area, if you were looking at this here, would you want to be looking for buys up here in this region? Okay, probably not, knowing where the market is trading up here in this region, filling that imbalance or mitigating that imbalance and trading at the top of this channel. Okay, and furthermore too, before we go on, you can see on the daily time frame that we do have several voids in the market back here. Okay, so these daily candles, this one back here a little bit, however, below this low here, you can see this pocket right down here, which is very close to the bottom of this channel, really stands out to me. So right around like between 116 and 116.50, that could potentially become a factor over the coming days, but I'll show you what has to happen for that to materialize. Okay, so let's now drop to an hourly time frame and talk about why these market conditions recently have been so challenging for traders. So the very first thing, guys, is that this back here was the mitigation of that imbalance. And this is why we saw this very sharp pullback. Now, within this pullback, we had the imbalance through here. We've mitigated that through this price action. And so far, all of this right here from the euro is just internal. So basically from this low, okay, right down here, up here to this high, all of this through here has been internal. And this is why traders have been struggling here. So really in conditions like this, you've got, basically a few options, right? You either stand aside and do nothing, you look at other markets, you don't trade the euro right now, or you adapt to the current conditions and understand that it's a very compressed trend and that we are just range bound here for the moment and you trade it as such. Okay, so let's talk here through the euro, what's happening right now. All right, so at the moment, you can see the back here too. I want to point out that the market never closed below here on the hourly, okay? So if it had closed below this low, if it had closed below this, then this would be an external high, in which case this up here would be a change of character. However, as it is, because we did not close below here on the 1 hour, and this is my time frame of choice for market structure, then all of this through here is just internal. Now, another factor here too is that the highs up here, notice how we never actually closed above this high. So we wicked above it here, we tested it again here, we never got acceptance above this, which meant this was never an external low. If we had, then this would have been a change of character and we could have been looking for shorts here. Now, full disclosure, I do have a trade on here on the euro today. I'm not going to talk about the details simply because I do share those with VIP members in Discord in real time. So I'm not going to cross any lines here and start talking about that for free because again, that's what people pay for. Now, the one thing that matters here for the euro today is that you can see that we have so far the market coming down here to mitigate these sell side imbalances. Okay, so this area back here was an imbalance for the market, and you can see that's exactly where we are starting to bounce from today. Now we also have a buy side imbalance off of this. You can see where too we had a liquidity sweep off of these highs. So the big question for the euro right now, okay, is this is what it comes down to. Now you could look at this here and you could say, well, this low down here, we have the BOS below here. Okay, so BOS below here, in which case this up here was our external high. And this now becomes your change of character. Okay, so in that case, this right here could just be a pullback down here to mitigate this area, and then we get a low forming. However, because these markets have been so choppy and because this downtrend really, in my opinion, is still intact, and also the fact that this high back here, guys, it's very tricky to try to time a reversal when a trend looks like this and just has been kind of messy, okay? So in my opinion, what this is going to come down to is one of two things. Either we get acceptance below this area down here, we start to take this out. If we get acceptance below here, we're probably coming down here toward that low around 117.75. If we get the move above highs like this up here and this one here and get that continuation, then we could be looking at a rally or at least a relief rally for the euro back here toward the highs, okay? So right now, in my opinion, the jury is out. Now, again, I do have a short on here. And by the way, if we get the move above these highs, guys, what I'm looking for is just a pushback here into this imbalance. Okay, I'm not necessarily looking for anything extreme. It would just be a pushback here into this imbalance around 119, maybe just above, before we get, possibly a rotation lower and a continuation of this range. Okay, but again, the market would have to take out these highs back here in order for that to happen. And we get the acceptance below this low, as I mentioned, get acceptance below here, we have another BOS within this downtrend. And then at that point, we're looking at imbalances like this back here, possibly a retest of this low. Now, longer term, if we get the euro giving us acceptance below this low back here. So if we get acceptance below here over the coming days, then it makes this down here a BOS. Okay, so change of character, BOS down here. And then at that point, we are looking at potentially imbalances all the way down here in this area. And remember too, like I said, on the daily time frame, if we look at this here, and this is the importance, guys, of looking at multiple time frames, is that this area right back here, if we get that follow through to the downside, then this pocket right down here is the one that I'm eyeing, okay? So you can see, again, on the daily time frame, notice this candle specifically back here. Everything below here, guys, is an imbalance. And again, you can see where too, that this has been the trend or the pattern here for the euro going all the way back here to June of last year. So this area down here, again, would be my target if we get the follow through on the 1 hour time frame below this low. Okay, so the way this looks on the hourly time frame is, if I can fit all this here on the chart, let's see. All right, so we've got this imbalance down here below the low, okay? So this would become my target on acceptance below these lows. Okay, so get acceptance below here, look for shorts into any kind of imbalance that you get on the move lower. This down here around 116, 116.50 becomes my target. Okay, so as I said too, on the flip side, if we get follow through to the upside here on the buy side, take out these highs, then we're looking at this imbalance up here around 119. But as of right now too, okay, and here's really the key to this, is that right now you look at this structurally. Okay, we had the mitigation of this imbalance up here. We had the change of character. So far, all of this is internal, which means the last thing on this chart is this bearish change of character. So there is nothing here, guys, that is bullish. Okay, there's nothing here that's bullish because we didn't get acceptance below this low, meaning this was not an external high, meaning that all of this here was internal. So far, there is nothing here that is bullish. All of this here is bearish. Okay, and to help support this idea too, let's look at the DXY here, the US dollar index. So I'm actually going to go to a monthly time frame, and while this is not SMC, this is obviously a significant channel for the DXY that we have talked about now for, I think, honestly, a year, maybe longer. These lows down here, right? You've got that symmetry off of these lows and these highs up here. So again, same rules apply, guys. Midline through here, okay, average price, the market distributes around this and reverts to the mean every single time. Now, at the moment, you can see where the DXY is trading in this area, and last month's close was very, very close. It's very difficult to tell if the market held this or it didn't, okay? But here's the thing, where this month closes, where February closes is going to tell us a lot, I think, because if we close in the lower half of this candle, then it's going to kind of confirm that we may be losing this level. If we close in the upper half of this level, then I think that tells us a lot for the DXY too, because now we are holding this portion. Now, in terms of SMC, right? Because again, this is not really SMC. This is just me falling back to the way I trade price action, the way I have traded price action for over a decade full time. And if you look at this low down here, up here to this high, same thing for the euro, right? Essentially the inverse of that. So here we have this OTE. Now, what was the reason for the DXY to take out these lows? Well, look back here, right? This was essentially an impulsive move up, okay, displacement out of this range, and then we had the lows form here. So this right here could just be the US dollar coming back here to mitigate this area before we get a continuation higher. Now, we don't know that yet though, because right now the market is still range bound, okay, but it is something to at least pay attention to. Now, I'm going to skip the daily and go down here to the 1 hour time frame, okay? So the 1 hour time frame, what I mentioned in the SMC weekly outlook was this right here. So right now, the structure that we have for the DXY is these lows down here, okay, and or these recent highs up here. And again, same rules apply. Midline through here, the market distributes around this. This is the current trend. So what I mentioned in the outlook video was that this high back here, okay, the NFP high from last week was going to be significant. So if we got acceptance above here, that would give us a BOS and possibly continue this trend out of the bottom of this channel. So far, we got the displacement above. We've come back here, mitigated the imbalance that formed through here, which I also talked about in Discord. In fact, I told members to watch for a potential reversal from this area. And so far, we are getting follow through. Now, the key though, just like the euro, is if we look at the 15-minute time frame, right? The question is, and by the way, here is that liquidity sweep that we saw in the euro as well. So you can see lows back here, we swept the lows, we got acceptance above the highs. However, the key here for the euro and the big question mark is if you look at this range now, okay, so you have this high back here, you had an aggressive move lower, you had imbalances that formed up here. And so this could be just the market mitigating these imbalances back here before a rotation lower. Now, just like with the euro though, if we take out this high right back here, okay, then we have another BOS within this uptrend, okay, the short-term uptrend. So right now, the jury is kind of out on what we get because the DXY has come up here, mitigated this imbalance, and now we're going sideways. So I think the next, possibly day or two, hopefully we get some kind of movement here to confirm this one way or the other. If we do come down here and start taking out these lows, then that, of course, would look a little bit bearish towards some sell-side imbalances. Okay, but that's how I'm viewing it right now. If you look at this on the 1 hour time frame, I mean, so far, we are coming off of the bottom of this channel here. And also too, keep in mind that if we look at this on the 4 hour, right, there is still a reason or, justification where if we were going to get bullish follow through from this, that we could come up here and take out this high, potentially back here into areas like this, because this is also an imbalance here for the DXY as well. So that could be the case up here, but again, we need to see some follow through here from buyers. If we start to take out these lows, then you've got pockets like this down here to keep an eye on, okay? But so far, the structure for the DXY that I've been watching now, even though the market has been very choppy, is this right here, right? Lows down here and highs up here. So for right now, that is the case. And again, we have that BOS. This is the high up here to watch. So if we mark this out, this is going to be right around 97.54 or so. Get above that, we have another BOS and a continuation of this uptrend. Okay, so we'll see what markets do here, guys. Again, it has been very choppy. I understand that. Hopefully this video has helped, though. If it has, be sure to keep it locked in here, subscribe to the channel. Also, check out this video right here where I do talk about those distribution channels and share all of the details on that. So until next time, trade well out there. I will talk to you again tomorrow.